We are back inside City Hall talking with our New York One wise guys. Last night, presidential debate, questions came from YouTube. One of the questions was on the issue of if you're president in your first year, would you meet with the head of a rogue nation?
Without preconditions.
That's a key point there. Without preconditions like Syria or Iran and Cuba. Let's listen to what the candidates Hillary Clinton and Senator Clinton and Senator Obama, how they mixed it up during last night's debate.
One of the first things that I would do in terms of moving a diplomatic effort in the region forward is to send a signal that we need to talk to Iran and Syria.
I think it is not that you promise a meeting at that high a level before you know what the intentions are. I don't want to be used for propaganda purposes. I don't want to make a situation even worse. And I will use a lot of high-level presidential envoys to test the waters, to feel the way. But certainly we're not going to just have our president meet with Fidel Castro and Hugo Chavez and the president of North Korea, Iran, and Syria until we know better what the way forward would be.
How was it handled, gentlemen, Mr. Green?
When I was watching that live with my wife, I heard the question, and I went, uh-oh. Obama answered inspirationally, eloquently, and incorrectly if you're running for president, in my view, politically, because he said you didn't pick up on it. The question was, would you meet with them without preconditions? He said yes. And then he backed up and made a cogent argument that you have to meet with your enemies especially. But Hillary Clinton's running on experience and strength. She has extraordinary experience at being president de facto because she watched her husband do it for 8 years. As a candidate, you don't say, oh yeah, I'm going to meet with Fidel Castro and Hugo Chavez and the head of North Korea without preconditions. You have to establish that there's a reason for the meeting and something can come out of it. And then she hit him so hard, but not explicitly, when she said, I don't want to be used for propaganda purposes, implying that this freshman senator might be used for propaganda purposes because he makes the wrong decision. So he answered in a way that was defensible, but she answered in a way that was presidential, and I think it's going to help her a lot.
Mr. Mayor.
Well, I think Mark summed it up. I happen to be for Hillary, and I think it's remarkable how in every debate, when they estimate who won, she comes out ahead, and the polls continue to show that.
I want to comment on that, to be blunt, because I remember I promised I may be wrong, but I want to be blunt. She's where she is because she was married to Bill Clinton. She would not be the senator running for president if her husband hadn't happened to become president. However, she is staying ahead in this race because of her skills, her intelligence, and her experience. If she were thin in these 3 debates, you would see it immediately. She wins every debate because she is deeply versed, very well spoken. One last thing, I was talking to a former Clinton cabinet secretary yesterday. I said, what is it with her? He said, she is so sure-footed. She doesn't make mistakes. And we watched how you can make a mistake presidentially, from Romney's father being brainwashed to other examples saying he was brainwashed. She is error-free football. It may not be exciting. She doesn't make mistakes. And if you're a front runner and you don't make mistakes, it puts pressure on the competitors.
Mr. Mayor, would you agree with, I understand you're for Senator Clinton, except for possibly the general election should Mayor Bloomberg run.
Then I'd have to decide.
Do you agree that as of right now she is error-free, and more importantly, do you expect for it to remain that way?
I never think of it in terms of error-free because every candidate has problems at some point in the campaign. You simply cannot be so sure-footed that your answer is going to be correct under every circumstance. But on balance, when you compare her with others, she's outstanding. Now, she has to confront the fact that while everybody, I should say 60%, I think the number is, agree that she's going to be the Democratic candidate, only 40% in the poll that I saw thought that she would win the general election. I think those people are dead wrong. No Republican can win.
Gentlemen, I'm out of time, but 30 seconds, 15 seconds each. Going into debate situations, you have each done quite a few. Are you worried that you may slip up or some reporter may come up with some got you question based on your past?
Especially the gotcha problem with a YouTube debate, because you're not dealing with people who know, oh, we shouldn't ask that question. That's off the record if you're an insider journalist. So these YouTube questions were authentic, different. Of course you're worried about slipping up, because so often the press is in a gotcha mode. They don't cover substance, they cover slip-ups.